The hard-hitting high rollers have arrived for Glory 23 Las Vegas. Tonight, the battle for the vacant welterweight world title is a contrast in styles, as kicking machine Raymond the Real Deal Daniels goes up against the brutal body attack of Nieky Holzken. The stakes are high, and these two great warriors are all in. In our co-main event, rising American star Xavier Vigny meets British Man Mountain Daniel Sam in an explosive heavyweight match set to light up the Nevada night sky. Plus, the always entertaining and unpredictable four-man tournament. Tonight, it's an all-American middleweight qualifier. The winner moving one step closer to a potential title fight with champion Artem Levin. The fight capital of the world is playing host to the most exciting fight sport on TV. This is Glory 23 Las Vegas.
The lights on the Vegas Strip have never shined brighter. For the first time in its history, Glory Sports International brings the most exciting combat sport to the fight capital of the world for Glory 23 Las Vegas, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Are you ready for glory?
We start with the highlights of a couple of close and competitive fights from this edition of the Glory Super Fight Series. First up, the lightweights with Georgia's Giga Chikadze facing Anvar Boynazarov of Uzbekistan making his Glory debut.
Very competitive battle between Chikadze and his sophomore outing as a Glory fighter and the debuting Anvar Boynazarov. And we saw a veritable cornucopia of kicks from Chikadze in the first round, and then Boynazarov going to his Muay Thai with the knees, the front kicks knocking Chikadze off balance. Boynazarov putting together good combinations. And then, in the third round, they seemed to fade down the stretch with Boynazarov on the attack. Good counter from Chikadze. So in the end, it's up to the three judges chosen by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They will decide who is victorious in what was a hotly contested Glory featherweight fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. They give us a split decision. Judge Dave Moretti scores the bout 29-28 Chikadze. Judge Glenn Trowbridge scores the bout 29-28 Boynazarov. And Judge Camijo scores the bout 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Anvar Boynazarov.
Then it was an all-American battle of middleweights making their Glory debut as 24-year-old Matt Baker took on 32-year-old Eric Heyman, who was 8 years his senior.
So Baker with the edge in the stats as we give you another look at the events that transpired in this middleweight matchup between 24-year-old Matt the Butcher Baker and 32-year-old Edward Scissorhands Hyman. Nice uppercut by Baker. And while the fight professor says that maybe Hyman has edged it out and he predicts a split decision.
Gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges, Camijo, Trowbridge, and Moretti, score them out the same way, 30-27. A unanimous decision for your winner, Matt Baker.
Up next is a battle of welterweights as number 8 ranked 28-year-old Myrtel Groenhart from the Netherlands takes on number 11 ranked 21-year-old Chad Sugden of the UK.
The bell in round 2. I'd like to ask each of you a question. I'll start with you, Joe Valtellini. Adjustments Groenhart needs to make in round 2.
Well, I'd like to see him get a little bit more aggressive, start mixing in his combinations, maybe mix kicks a little bit more from the outside, and I think he's waiting to set up that big knee, so expect that to come very soon.
And for Chad Sugden, any adjustments you'd like to see, Stephen?
I think the same thing would be true because Sugden needs to get this fight into the pocket. He's got to be careful with the knee.
Yep.
But I think the overhand right left uppercut may be in his toolbox. in the near foreseeable future.
More aggressive start for Groenhart, misses with the left hook. Walking down Sugden, Sugden backing up, looking to check that inside low kick by Groenhart.
We had Groenhart basically taking the round by only 3 strikes. And that was the punch department, and he got it out by 1 kick. So Groenhart definitely got it, and these guys are starting to mix it up now.
Yeah, showing their versatility, mixing up the punches, kicks, and knees. Jab from Groenhart. Sugden unable to navigate the distance, the real estate. What range against Groenhart? You want to close the distance fast, right, Joe?
Yeah, you can see what Sugden's trying to do here. He kind of draws you in, and then attacks with big hands.
But
like he
gets
just did.
countered with a left.
There you go. So he's trying to draw in Myrtle and then attack with big hands. And I think that's a good strategy because, again, he's respecting that big knee that Myrtle can throw at any time.
Slight edge for Sugden. But, man, not a lot of strikes thrown through 2 rounds. And for Groenhart, he'd been having a hard time making weight. And for this fight, elected to return to welterweight. He intends to stay here. He told us he's chasing a rematch with current Glory welterweight champion Nieky Holzken. He still bitterly disputes the decision loss he suffered to Holzken back in 2010.
I just think this is an important fight for both guys. Sugden really wants to make a name for himself in the welterweight division. And Myrtle, you know, moving up to the welterweight, he wants to make a name here. He's fought most of the big guys in the welterweight division, so it'd be interesting to see who wins this fight and where it goes, where they both go next.
Yeah, Groenhart splitting his 4 appearances, just walked into the jab from Sugden. Blood now trickling down the side of Sugden's face, a cut over his left eye. Must have been from a clash of heads, although I can't confirm that.
Again, you see Sugden really using that draw style and then throwing those big hands. But again, he's keeping his back against the rope. He's got to get off the ropes and kind of stay in the middle of the ring a little bit more.
Under a minute remaining. Groenhart began his Glory career with a win over Mark Tabant, then suffered back-to-back losses to Robin van Roosmalen and David Giria, before bouncing back at Glory 14 in March of 2014 with a TKO over Teo Mikulik, his last appearance here in Glory. Since then, he's gone 1-1 outside of the organization. Push kick from Groenhart.
I think Groenhart is definitely going to stay at welterweight because he's stronger at welterweight. One of the things that was zapping him was the weight cut for lightweight.
If it were up to me, there would, well, there wouldn't be weight cuts in fighting. I know it's about the advantage, Joe, but radical and drastic weight cuts are not healthy.
No, it's definitely not. And the one thing, most fighters, the hardest part of their training camp is their diet and cutting down.
Headbutt, I can't tell if the blood is from that or not. Accidental headbutt. Okay. All right, are you okay to continue? Okay. Good to continue?
Interesting that they're checking the cut on top of Groenhart's head.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's blood trickling down the face of Sugden.
Fight.
Not a lot of time left to capitalize on anything.
Straight right hand by Groenhart. Sugden trying to amp up the energy, spinning hook kick.
Fight.
Getting fancy. 10 seconds.
That's the first time we've seen the knee from Myrtle. I'm surprised he hasn't thrown it more often.
He's landed a few, but not as often as we are accustomed to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard, and they send us a split decision. Judge John Baker scores the bout 29-28 Groenhart. Judge Patricia Morse-Jarman scores the bout 29-28 Sugden. And Judge Robert Hoyle scores the bout 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Chad Sugden!
So in another close battle, Chad Sugden remains undefeated in Glory at 2-0, while notching his 14th overall victory in 18 professional fights. We're just getting started in this edition of Glory 23 Rewind. Still to come, fights in both the middleweight and heavyweight divisions. And later on, the welterweight championship of the world is up for grabs as Nieky the Natural Holzken takes on Raymond the Real Deal Daniel.